Harsha, we have to talk about Australia's batting, but more to the point, we have to start thinking about the changes for the next Test match. They are going to be plentiful. The Australian public do not accept losing at Melbourne very well, believe you me. That will mean there will be changes. Joe Burns will be omitted. That much is fairly clear. I'd be flabbergasted if they retain him next time around. Travis Head is under the pump. David Warner might be back. How would you put the pieces back together for Australia?
First thing I would do is check out David Warner's, was it groin or hamstring or whatever? It's a groin injury, I think. I would check that out first because an SOS needs to go out there to Warner. But if Warner is not yet 100%, then you have the big issue, because what do? You go to Marcus Harris. Marcus Harris averages 25, 26, gutsy player, good fighter, but is he that person who's going to rejuvenate, galvanize the side? Because you're right. I mean, it's almost too hard on Joe Burns to keep playing him again. So they'll have to find an opener. Whether they find someone else, like a Travis Head, maybe just send him open the batting and see what happens. Send Cameron Green open the batting and see what happens. Send Labuschagne to open the batting, see what happens, and see whether you want to play Moses Hendricks in there. Because I cannot believe that in a country with such a strong cricket culture, that there isn't another opener to pick. I mean, you've got Matthew Wade, and there's much to admire about Matthew Wade. But from what we've seen so far, he's pugnacious, but he's almost like a tough middleweight in a heavyweight bout. That he'll give you everything. He'll punch, and there's much to like about Matthew Wade, but he's getting 30s, 40s. He's not going on. He's not a Warner. He's not going on to make 150 as Warner can. So there's problems at the top of the order, but the biggest issue is Stephen Smith. I'm a big fan of Stephen Smith, but hasn't scored 100 in Australia for 3 years. I guess one of those years he wasn't playing, so you shouldn't count that. But as we discussed yesterday, I'm very keen to see how he fights back. You cannot have this series going through. It's like saying, can you have a series where Virat Kohli makes 100 runs? No, that's not a great series then. So you want to see Steve Smith come back as well, because he's one of the great players of our times. But if Steve Smith is not scoring runs, Australia is looking, not as good a batting side as it's been over the years, maybe. I'll be polite.
Yep.